Hello. You just reached MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Your patience while holding is appreciated. Our representatives are working hard to get you closer to the guys on top of the pit boxes, over the wall, and on your radio dial. Thank you for holding. You are now being connected to your hosts, Tony Rizzuti and Kid Cruz.
Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to MRN Crew Call. We are presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Tony Rizzuti. I'm joined by a guy who deep down,
all right,
was country when country wasn't cool. How you doing, Kid Cruz?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Who sang that song back in the day?
That was Barbara Mandrell, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I loved me some Mandrell sisters. Of course, I was probably like just a kid, not even a teenager, just looking up at the TV. Look at them beautiful women.
I feel like you were country back then, even though you were a pop
star.
I
was. Yeah, no, I had all the Alabama LPs and all that kind of stuff.
Good stuff.
Roll on 18-wheeler. Roll on. Let's go.
Love it. Hey, as always, you can join the conversation. You can tweet us at MRN Radio. That's our handle. On Twitter, just use the hashtag AskMRN. It makes it easier for us to find your responses. Kid and I answer every single question you send us. We love to interact.
All the time.
He loves to get people at his Twitter thing, and we're audio only today, so you can't point down to it. So tell everybody how to follow you on Twitter.
Yes, follow me on Twitter. It's I was going to say we're not on TV.
I'm coming back to that.
Okay. It's at The Real Kid Cruz. And who did we have on last week? We had on Randy Hauser, and he was nice enough to retweet my tweet
to
about
give you
being
some love?
on the show. Yeah, so why can't you join the fun?
Yeah, absolutely. We enjoy reading your comments, and also you can call us on the Fan Forum hotline, 1-844-4 Ask MRN. Just leave us a message. Always love to get your feedback. Fun show today. Actually, what were you about to say? You're not wearing pants?
Yeah, you're
totally wearing pants.
Okay, don't play along or anything. I'm like, we're on the audio version, not on TV. I'm not wearing any pants. But whatever. I'll take them off for lunch when I walk back out into the lobby.
That may be true. Fun show for you, as always. Our first crew call will be to the latest winner in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, the crew chief of the number 3 Dow Chevrolet. It's driven by Austin Dillon, but the new crew chief, he's 1 for 1, by the way, Justin Alexander. First race in the Cup Series as a crew chief, goes to victory lane. We'll ask him if it's going to be this easy all the time.
Right.
Like maybe he has the prescription that everybody else is looking for. What
Can you
ails
imagine if he goes out and wins Dover this weekend?
Crazy, dude. I'd retire. I'd be I'm done. I want to be like director of competition or something, not travel. And then we welcome back to the program the Bagman. Mike Bagley will join us. We were just talking.
What the hell was that?
Yeah. Baggy was our first ever contestant. We think you whipped him pretty good.
Yeah, I destroyed him, I think, in 5 on, 5 off, and I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Bring him on.
Bring it on. Category today, get your kicks.
Okay.
That could be anything.
All right.
So that'll be part of our venerable game show, 5 on, 5 off. Should be, you feel like a king in the castle, won't you?
Yes.
It's time to check out this week's crew cut. This is a band that once played, true story, they once played the MRN lobby.
Yeah, I was just going to say that right on the other side of that glass here. So we're in the radio studio. It's fun to see. I'm sorry, you had more to add.
Well, I was going to let people know they can check them out at the Tin Roof in Memphis this Friday.
Oh, really?
What's new with Low Cash?
Oh, that's going to be a rockin' show. It's fun to see the rise of a band. Like you said, play in the lobby, the MRN studio. They roll up in a van, beating on a box for drums.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
From playing the lobby to scoring #1 hits, I Love This Life, I Know Somebody, and now being nominated for a CMT Music Award. We're going to find out next Wednesday night on the CMTs if they take home the award. So I caught up with the lead singer of Low Cash, Chris Lucas, and Chris is nominated, obviously his group's nominated, Duo Video of the Year category. Chris, is there any trash talking happening among nominees? I know you're friends with Tim McGraw. He's nominated too for a song in that category he did with Big and Rich, right?
Yes, he is. So he's probably going to be able to beat us up, but we'll see. It is Tim McGraw. But, hey, all of us we're huge friends with Big and Rich. We love those guys. And Dan and Shay and everybody. It's really a family, man. And nobody is, of course, we all want to win. But at the same time, it's an award. It's, we're all lucky to be where we're at. And we don't get any, hurt over it. Because it's like, we kind of make fun of each other. And we actually, like with Dan and Shay, we'll call them and we'll do videos like we're going to win. Or I'm voting for you. Or you voting for us? That kind of thing. It's funny.
This week's crew cut, that's Chris Lucas from Low Cash, and we'll have more with them on NASCAR USA this weekend. Our country music show, just go to MRN.com, click on the stations tab, and you can find a station near you to listen to NASCAR USA.
Always good. Love your work on that. All right, let's take our first break here on Crew Call. When we come back, it's the crew chief of the number 3 Dow Chevrolet, Justin Alexander, joins us on MRN Crew Call.
Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and get 1 free. Plus, get double O Rewards points on this offer. Clean clogged injectors with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you or your family love the freedom of swimming any time of year, if you love sharing good times and making great memories, or if you want one of the best total body workouts ever, then it's time to discover the 3 C's of your very own endless pool. The first C is convenience. Imagine swimming year-round in your own private swimming pool, installed indoors or out, just steps away. The second C is comfort. With sculpted spa seats and your own adjustable temperature, you can easily escape the stress of your day. And the third C is cost. Your endless pool is an affordable luxury at a fraction of the cost of a regular pool. And here's a bonus C, choice. Because when you call for your free Endless Pool Idea Kit, you'll receive information on our full line of pools to suit your budget and location.
Call now for free information. 800-283-8089. 800-283-8089.
Thank you for joining MRN Crew Call. If you know your party's extension, please send it along. I haven't been to a good one in years. Now here's Tony and Kid.
Welcome back to the program. Tony Rizzuti, Kid Cruz with you on a Wednesday afternoon here from the Motor Racing Network. It's MRN Crew Call, and it's now time to make our first crew call of the day. We're going to make it up to Welcome, North Carolina, just about 45 minutes away, and talk to the crew chief, the winning crew chief from the Coca-Cola 600. It's the number 3 Dow Chevrolet, and it is Justin Alexander. Justin, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. Congrats on the win. I got to ask you, is the party still going on in Welcome, and how hard has it been to refocus now and get ready for Dover?
No, we have a company luncheon today. Actually, we're going to celebrate with the whole company. But no, we're focused on Dover right now. You know, you only have so much time to celebrate these wins, and then you got to kind of refocus and start working on the following week.
So no real chance to let it sink in? I mean, you're part of NASCAR history now. You're in the history books. You're one of the guys that brought the number 3 Cup car back to victory lane. That's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty special to be a part of this whole thing. You know, it sinks in a little bit every day. You know, it took a while. It really didn't sink in for a day or so, and every day I kind of think about it. It kind of it's more special. You know what I mean?
Right. And how about that car? So it was a new chassis. It was number 600 on the chassis, right?
It was. It was a brand new car we took, and just by pure coincidence, it was our chassis number 600. So
that's amazing.
That was kind of cool, and you know, it was a really good race car.
So I understand you want to keep it on the track. Richard Childress wants to put it in the RCR museum. Have you guys figured this out? Like, he wants to put it in right now. Have you figured this out yet?
No, we haven't talked about it too much more. You know, it's Richard's car, and you know, he whatever he wants to do, you know, he's going to do it, and that's just fine with me. We know we can build more just like it. So, you know, it's a special car to him, and you know, it's obviously it was a real special win to this company and organization. So so I'm cool with whatever, and you know, I just want to try to get a couple more like it here in the future.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people out here that are into numerology. 600th chassis, 600 win, first race as a Cup crew chief, 1 win. Justin, you realize it's not going to be this easy, right?
No, trust me, I know. You know, it's it is my first win with the 3 car. You know, but I crew chiefed the 27 for a number of years, or a year and a half or so, and so it's not my first Cup start.
Right.
But yeah, I know that they don't come easy. You know, every these races are super hard to win, and the competition is so good nowadays. And you know, when you do get a win, especially one as big as a Coke 600, you know, it's very special.
I always find it interesting to ask crew chiefs, once you get that win, and now I mean, certainly a lot of things could happen. We could have a winner in every race, and maybe one win doesn't get you into the playoffs. But it looks pretty good that you guys will get into the playoffs. So do you change now how you approach the rest of the season leading up to the playoffs with that win?
We're not going to change too much. I think, we still got to keep the pressure on. Like you said, there's still a scenario where there could be more than 16 winners. And if that's the case, then we'll definitely have to be there at points. So, we still have to worry about points. It does take a little bit of pressure off, I think, winning a race and kind of tentatively getting, I guess, secured into the chase. So that helps everything. Winning does help a lot, and kind of gives you a little bit of confidence as a team, as a driver, and as an organization, and kind of helps the mojo a little bit. So, from that perspective, it'll be that we're going to do that, but we still have to we're still going to maximize our points every week and go out and run the best we can to, just in case a scenario like that does come along.
So after your celebration at the shop today, it's absolutely all mind on Dover, all eyes on Dover, and it's such a tough track to get a hold of. What's the toughest part as a crew chief to prepare for the Monster Mile?
Dover's a unique track. It's a concrete surface similar to Bristol. It's kind of like a Bristol on steroids. So it behaves differently than an asphalt track, and the track conditions change throughout the weekend. So the biggest thing is keeping up with the track condition and keeping up with as rubber gets laid down, the track does change, the balance changes. So just got to keep up with all that. And Dover's such a unique track just in general that setups are a little differently and a little different. And but it's a cool place to go. It's a cool place to race, and I enjoy going up there.
Looking at the last 4 races for Austin Dillon at Dover, a little bit of struggle early on, 33rd, 23rd, and 33rd. But last fall, a top 10, he finished 8th. What are your expectations for this weekend?
I had pretty high expectations. He was really fast there in the fall. He was actually fast there in the spring as well. They just had, I believe they had some brake issues that kind of got him behind there, and some mechanical problems. So I think the races before that, maybe something similar, or they got in a crash or something. Mm-hmm. So Austin runs really well up there. He knows how to get around that place. So I'm looking forward to it. I expect to run. I expect big things this weekend, and hopefully we can go out and get us a repeat win.
I know you're real busy. We'll let you run. You got to get ready for that big party. So as a crew chief, did you get to help set up the menu? Did they?
It's like Augusta National here. You get to pick the menu.
No,
do you get to pick the menu when you win?
No,
You're a crew chief, man.
I don't know if they'd want me picking the menu. Nobody may want to eat the food, but no, I've got so much going on here. I don't know what we're eating, but I look forward to it.
Yeah, we got to know now. What would you have if it were your menu? What would we be eating today?
Yeah, what would they all hate? Apparently, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they all hate it. I just I don't know that I'm pretty picky when it comes to food. So I don't know. I like everything, but I get really picky when I eat. So it's there's only a few things that I like to eat. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what it'd be. I don't know. I'd think about that.
We might have to send over some Creekstone steaks or some pork.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Smoke it up.
I can do that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate your time. I know you're super busy. Congratulations on the win. Keep the momentum going. It was great to see the 3-car back in victory lane, and hopefully we'll see it again the rest of the year. And good luck this weekend at Dover Downs.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
There he is, Justin
Thanks.
Alexander. I went old school there, Dover Downs.
I know. What's up
Was
with
it
that?
Dover International Speedway? It's Dover Downs to me. It's Dover Downs to somebody else. Our next guest is actually from the Dover area.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it's the Bagman. Mike Bagley joins us next on MRN Crew Call.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
It's summertime, and that means three things: good times, great racing, and killer barbecue. Creekstone Farms produces the finest, juiciest, and most grill-worthy, all-natural Duroc pork in the country. So rev up your grill and try their mouth-watering pork at your next tailgate. Speed over to creekstonefarms.com now and use promo code MRNPORK to save 15% on all succulent Creekstone Farms all-natural Duroc pork products. That's promo code MRNPORK at creekstonefarms.com.
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I know the importance of communication. So when it came to selecting equipment for my team, I chose Racing Electronics.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win!
Oh, yeah! And so should you. With Racing Electronics, you can listen to all the raw, unfiltered, heat-of-the-moment communication between drivers and their crews.
I love you, man.
Enhancing your experience.
Unbelievable!
Putting you right in the middle of the action. Go to racingelectronics.com to rent a scanner or FanVision, or see Racing Electronics and FanVision trackside at every NASCAR race.
You've reached MRN Crew Call. This show may be monitored for quality assurance. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. This show may be monitored for quality assurance and training. I can't do it. I just can't. Here's Tony and Kid.
Thank you, Susie Q. She always has fun at our expense.
At our expense. Thanks
right?
a lot, lady.
Oh, well. We enjoy having her on the program. It livens it up a little bit. You know who else livens it up a little bit?
Always.
This guy. He's our first ever return guest, and he's come back to try to get back in the winning column on the 5 on 5 off. That'll be later. But he is the co-host of Sirius XM NASCAR's The Morning Drive and MRN anchor Mike Bagley. Bagman, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. You do not know what a breathtaking moment this is for me, knowing that I am on the return guest roster.
Ooh, breathtaking moment. I love it. I love it.
I can't believe you accepted.
Yeah, no kidding, right? We're going to have to put him on the payroll. Wait, we get paid for that? No, we don't. Hey,
what do you do here?
Yeah, no kidding, right? Hey, I want to kind of put a exclamation point or a period on last weekend. What were your thoughts on the Coke 600? And I'm curious, how did it mesh or differ with the fans that called into your show?
Well, you know, as with anything we do in the sport, we get mixed reaction. We hear from both sides of the aisle. Personally, I didn't think that the fourth stage added a tremendous bit to the race. Mm-hmm. I mean, it obviously, you know, influenced some strategies and the like. Because keep in mind, we had a couple things going here. You had the fourth stage, you had the PJ1 VHT traction compound grip strip.
Talk to me,
stuff.
Bagman. Talk to me.
All these technical terms. We had a lot in play. Was it a good race? Yes. How much of those individual things made it that way? Not sure, because it was punctuated with an hour and 40-minute red flag. So if you take one of those things out of the mix, I don't know how much it changes the actual event overall. I thought the takeaway of Austin Dillon taking the 3 back to victory lane was a pretty big thing.
Yep.
But frankly, it didn't measure a lot with the fans out there. The 3 going back to victory lane, I thought would have been a bigger story. Last time that happened was October of 2000. So it's been 16 and a half years ago since that took place.
Wow.
Didn't really move the needle a whole heck of a lot. I think it moved the needle more for folks inside the industry than it did from the fans on the outside looking in.
You know, what's interesting is I heard a caller called into your program and said he was more, when he thinks of Dale Earnhardt, he doesn't think as much about the 3 anymore as he does Goodwrench being on the car. Had that been a Goodwrench 3, it would have been kind of a different thing. What was your kind of thought on that? That maybe it's more the sponsor and the paint scheme that follows more than the number now.
And I think that's a valid point. Now, for me personally, I don't define Dale Earnhardt by the black Goodwrench number 3. When I grew up in this sport, it was all about the blue and yellow Wrangler colors.
Wrangler. One tough customer.
It was the 15 car. It was the 3 car. Even when he drove for Bud Moore. I mean, for me, a lot of my time was spent in my youth and growing up in this sport with Earnhardt in the black and yellow number 3. I think personally, Earnhardt Jr.'s win in the Wrangler 3 car at Daytona in the Xfinity Series a couple of years ago meant more to me personally than it did to see Austin go in, because those sponsors have set sail on the 3 car. You know, Dow, the NRA, AAA is on there, and that's fine. That's great. When you look from a historical perspective, it's just a number. And one thing we found out is that really numbers don't move the needle much more. It's all about paint scheme. It's all about color schemes that identify the drivers more than the numbers did back in my era when I started growing up in the sport.
So now we're moving on to Dover. What is that, just a crosstown drive for you? That's got to be nice, right, this weekend? It's the only track on the Cup circuit that I have not visited. That's like the only one. So what's the best thing about visiting that area on a race weekend?
Well, for me, it's taking a trip home. I got to go across the bay, not across town. Don't live in Delaware anymore, but live over near the nation's capital. So we'll hop in the car, go over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and eventually find our way to Dover. You know, for me growing up, I mean, I go all the way back to when I was 6 years old. So back when I was a younger person, going there and watching races. And it was always a big deal when the races came to town. It was always that vibe and that energy. And I know a lot of that has changed, but there's still something about going to Dover. We stay at the casino now instead of staying down the street at the Sheraton.
Mm-hmm.
And just a track that I would put in the same category as Phoenix International Raceway, to where it's a different layout. Yeah, it's a conventional 1 mile oval, but it's concrete. You drop down into the corners. You get launched onto the straightaways. And when you hear drivers still talk to this very day about how Dover is such a demanding track on driver and also car alike, I think that speaks volumes, because a lot are used to the mile and a half that we go to or the short tracks that we go to. Dover is still a very challenging racetrack and one that sets drivers into fits. I think the uniqueness of the racetrack sticks out to me, and all the challenges that go along with that. That, in my opinion, punctuates a return to Dover.
So it should be a fun weekend. I don't mean any offense by this, because I like all three of these people. I just never thought in my life all three of them would be hanging out. You, Mike Bagley, Richard Petty, and Ricky Rackman. What is that all about?
Well, connect the dots on that one. The track reached out to me.
I know, but it just seemed, can you imagine? Like, I want to be hanging out in a bar with those
now
three people.
I want to go to Dover now. I like all three of those people.
I know.
Well, and I appreciate that. How the heck with the other two? Just stay with me. No, I'm kidding. You know what's going to make that so cool for me is I grew up sitting in those grandstands rooting for that guy. I was a Richard Petty fan growing up and watched all of them do or watched the King do his thing and watched him win a lot of races and lead a lot of laps. So to be able to interview him with Ricky on his 80th birthday celebration there at the Monster Mile with Dennis McGlynn, that's going to be one of the coolest things. We'll see if we can get the King telling some stories and maybe getting some stories about his Sambo's runs that he used to make there back in the day. It probably still does.
Yeah, probably still does. It'd be cool hanging out with Ricky. Obviously, he has a different view of the sport, kind of coming from that Hollywood rock and roll, but a huge fan. And he starts his ride. He does a Ricky's Ride Across America. 17th time he's done that. So that ought to be a lot of fun. And also, you hear all these stories Mike's telling you about the Dover area. He left out a lot, but you can still learn more about it. We're debuting something new at MRN.com. It's Bagley's blog. It'll debut either today or tomorrow. We're still working out the schedule. But Mike's going to tell you about growing up in Dover and things to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it'll be a regular thing on the website. Different times, Michael, blog about what's going on. You excited about that?
I am. And in this rendition, I was able to give a little peek behind the curtain what it was like back in the day when the races were about to come to town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going home this weekend. And really, the first blog talks about going home and going back to basically where I grew up and going back to a place that defined a lot of my youth, and that was the Monster Mile back in the day.
All right, it's time for the big competition. We're going to take a commercial break. Mike, the category today in 5 on 5 Off is Get Your Kicks. We'll put you on hold. You think about that. When we come back, it's 5 on 5 Off here on MRN Crew Call.
What the hell is that?
The next time you need auto parts and accessories, trust O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people know what it takes to get the job done right. Professional technicians have counted on O'Reilly Auto Parts for decades. It's all part of our service commitment to you and what sets us apart. Come see for yourself at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When the smoke settles, the entertainment never stops.
It's all a family sport.
On race weekends, your favorite NASCAR personality is an everyday superhero.
Brad Keselowski will win.
But when they leave the racetrack, they're just like everyone else.
We just have to find the value package that connects a new generation of fans.
I'm Susie Armstrong. Join me on a daily journey as we discuss the hot topics and engaging personalities of NASCAR Nation. Ned Jarrett's World of Racing, weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
I'm Steve Post.
And I'm Ashley Stremme.
Join us Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Eastern for MRN's Wing Nation on MAV TV.
The biggest and best names in wing sprint car racing join us for in-depth conversations, and we'll have the latest news from the dirt tracks across America.
Plus, we'll send our girl Lauren into the sprint car pits to give you a behind-the-scenes look at sprint car racing, and we'll have your Tweet Your Seat.
MRN's Wing Nation, Saturdays at 9:30 and 12:30 Eastern on MAV TV.
Time now for Motor Racing Network's #1 game show. The game where MRN talent prove their mettle against the unshakable Kid Cruz to see if they've truly earned the right to sit atop the pit box or if they're simply a tool. It's 5 on, 5 off on MRN Crew Call.
Welcome back to the program. Kid Cruz, Tony Rizzuti here at lunch. We talked about sending some delicious Duroc pork over to the folks at RCR for their little cookout today. I don't know that it'd get there in time, but maybe their next win they could have some. And fans, you can get it too. MRN fans, you can save 15% on Creekstone Farms succulent all-natural Duroc pork. You can speed over to creekstonefarms.com now. Use our exclusive promo code. It is MRN Pork, MRNPORK. Visit creekstonefarms.com today and rev up your grill. And now I'm hungry. And that's how this works.
We wrap this up. We play the game. We go eat lunch. Bring on the questions. Let me beat up the bag man, and then we'll go get some.
Beat up the bag man.
We'll get some pork.
If you, let's put it this way: we will change if you shut him out today, we will change the name to Beat Up the Bag Man.
Okay.
And we'll just bring him back every week for this part of the game. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, I mentioned the category Get Your Kicks. This was actually a category that I built around Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace, who ran the 66 early in his career during the short track days.
Okay.
But this has to do with everything around Route 66. A lot of summer vacation used to take place.
I got this.
We have Cars 3 coming out in the summer. I think our buddy Ricky Rackman's going to ride part of it. So we'll put 45 seconds on the clock, Daryl Smith. And, kid, your time starts right now. According to most sources, Route 66 is how many miles long?
1,150.
In what year did Route 66 become paved from end to end?
1952.
How many states does Route 66 cover?
A dozen.
What percentage of Route 66 is still in use in Texas? What percentage?
What percentage of it?
Still in use.
Let's say 28%.
And Get Your Kicks on Route 66. That song was written in what year?
1965.
There we go. Kid is on the board. Let's Bing back in. Maybe we can get a sponsorship from Bing. Let's bring Mike Bagley back on. What do you think?
Bing it up.
Can we get a Bing sponsorship here? Route 66. Get Your Kicks on Route 66. That's going to be our summer category here, Mike. I think you got a chance here, bud. We'll put 45 seconds on the clock, and your time starts now. According to most sources, Route 66 is how many miles long?
2,500.
In what year did Route 66 become paved from end to end?
1971.
How many states does Route 66 cover?
11.
What percentage of Route 66 is still in use in Texas?
Very little.
Need a number. Throw a number out.
20 miles. I don't know.
20 miles. Give me a percentage.
10.
10%. And Get Your Kicks on Route 66 was written in what year?
Sometime today.
1964. I have no idea.
1964.
The only thing I know about Route 66 is it's right there by Chicagoland speedway, the racetrack.
Well, let me tell you something here, Mike. I think your guess right at the end may have just won you this competition.
Man, I'm not what I'm
Let's
used to
bring
be.
in producer Daryl Smith. Daryl, the
go.
first question, according to most sources, Route 66 is how many miles long? Kid Cruz said.
1,100.
And Mike Bagley said.
2,500.
The correct answer.
2,448.
Mike Bagley gets the first point.
Wow.
Ding, 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 ding. Second question, what year did Route 66 become paved from end to end? Kid said.
1952.
And Mike said.
1971.
The correct answer.
1937.
1937. Ooh. We are 1-1. Question number 3, how many states does Route 66 cover? Kid said.
12.
Mike said.
11.
The correct answer.
8.
Mike Bagley. Back on the board. He has a 2-1 lead as we head to question 4. What percentage of Route 66 is still in use in Texas? Kid said.
28.
Mike said.
10.
The correct answer.
Wait a minute.
It's. You want me to help you here, Daryl?
91.
91%. Almost all of Route 66 in Texas is still there.
Really?
They still use it. They do not bypass it. Kid gets the point. It is 2-2. We go to the rubber question. This will determine the champion. Get your kicks on Route 66. That song was written in what year? Kid said.
1965.
Mike said.
1964.
He kind of went $1 on us right there. The correct answer.
1946.
Oh, Mike Bagley with the 3-2 win.
Get some of that, boys.
Wow.
Get some of that.
And now we no longer, we had a little bet in the commercial break. If he skunked you, we were going to call this game beating up the bagman, but not today. He got overconfident.
Crushing the kid.
Oh, Kid Cruz stalled out there, son.
How about that?
What's going on?
By the way, bagman, I know you do it sometimes during like a qualifying show, but you are now the first non-pit reporter to take down Kid Cruz.
I'd just like to thank all the boys back at the shop.
Got that
I'd like
little
to thank
sniff
all
in
the
there?
crew for giving us a good
You're up there with the likes of Alex Hayden now. Good job.
All right, before we let you go, we all mentioned going to Dover, you have to go to Sambo's, but there's something important you need to know. If you're going to Sambo's this weekend and you're picking up the tab, let people know what's unique about Sambo's.
It's on the marsh. They have awesome crab cakes. The shrimp are to die for. And just, you know what, don't only worry about cost. When you buy quality, you don't have to apologize.
Is it still cash only?
No, it's credit now.
Oh, they have credit cards now.
Yep.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a must-see. But I've been there many times when somebody's gone to pick up the tab, and they're like cash only, and it's like, everybody
burn that credit card down.
Everybody want to chip in while they're in the modern times. Hey, buddy, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a return guest, and thanks for taking down Kid Cruz.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
All right. Hey, as always on a Wednesday, Kid Cruz and Tony Rizzuti. We'll see you next time here on MRN Crew Call.
You've been listening to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Wednesday at noon on MRN.com or on the MRN app. MRN Crew Call is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or download it through iTunes or Google Play. MRN Crew Call is a production of the Motor Racing Network. Goodbye.